Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new segment of the show. This part of the show is called Terry's Tips. It's not me talking, it's Mr. Lappins himself, the most experienced man I know with so much nuggets of knowledge about running. So listen carefully and you might just learn something. Let's get it.
Thank you, Eric, for that lovely introduction. The most electrifying running entertainer in the world that you are. For those of you who don't know me, you might have seen me on the K.I.M running videos. My name is Terry Lappins. I'm a good dear friend of Eric. We've known each other coming on for 2 years now, and it's literally, it is more than running. It really is. I can't describe the banter that we have and, you know, the fun that we have. I'm smiling as I'm speaking about it. And it's a good thing. And yeah, we found each other through running. So, you know, and as I'm sure everyone here watching this, well, first of all, thank you. What's going on? Hope you're cool, hope you're well. First of all, you're here for a reason, because you can see that there's a new segment, there's a new little corner on K.I.M Running Productions YouTube channel. It is Terry's Tips. Hi, I'm Terry, as I say. If you don't know me, as I say, you're going to get to know in the next couple of minutes. So Eric's warned me to only go on for about 5 minutes. I'm already a minute in, so we'll try. I'm sitting in my glorious van. I spend a lot of time here. You don't need to know about that, though. You're here for another reason. Right. The little subject of 26.2 miles or 42.2 kilometres, it's a big one. Don't underestimate it. Don't think that, yeah, I'll do a couple of halves, I might do a 20 miler, yeah, I'll be all right in a day. Do not think that. You've got to respect the distance. You know, the first ever marathon, I won't go on too much about him. Most of you probably know the story. There was a messenger that ran from, I think it was either Athens to a marathon or marathon to Athens. Anyway, long story short, he dropped dead. He delivered his message, but he dropped dead. So, you know, we don't want anyone dropping dead, basically. So I've done a quick Google search, big up Google, and this is the only script I've got. So they are now currently, at the time of recording, 15th of February 2023, there are 46 days until Brighton and Paris, which is 6.5 weeks. There are 59 days until Manchester, which is 8.5 weeks. There's 61 days until Boston, which is just under 9 weeks. And the big one, for me anyway, London is 67 days, which is 9.5 weeks. So it is a good amount of time, but you know, like take for example Brighton and Paris. That you've got to be halfway through your training block, or even 10 weeks. It depends if you're doing standard marathon procedures or either a 10-week a 12-week training block or a 16-week training block. So that's a 4 or a 3-month training block. Now there's all different plans. You've got to say you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do this. I'm not saying ignore it, but you can say, for example, it says Monday, do a speed session, do this amount, do that time. Tuesday, rest day. Wednesday, go for a semi-long run, 8 miler. I talk in miles, by the way, not kilometres, but I will try and do the conversions. And then say, for example, it says Friday, another speed session, and then Sunday, long run. We all know about the Church of the Long Run. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter the days. As long as you're getting in, for me, the three main key workouts, obviously you can do like an amalgamation of this, is a speed session, not necessarily on a track, because some people get scared of track running, but do not be scared of that. So you've got a speed session, the interval sessions, you've got that long run, which is key. Like, I mean, I'm not even talking mileage, because people worry about the 20 miler, which I'll go on about in a minute. People worry about that, but it's just time on your feet, the long runs. So you've got those two added together with like your mid-range run. And when I say mid-range, I mean anything from sort of 8 miles up to maybe 12 miles, and then you're going into long run territory. So anything up to a half, basically. But I mean, I wouldn't. Sometimes, I know I've just gone on about distances, but sometimes if you're more of a novice runner and it might be your first marathon, you wouldn't chime in if you wasn't worried about doing something or how to do it. My advice would be not ignore the training plan, as I said, but you can play with it. You can play with it. Don't try and miss too many days. But at the same time, you know, if you need to chop and change your mileage, because, you know, none of us are pros out here. None of us are Kenanisa. None of us are Kipchoge or Jakob. You know, we're all just out here doing what we can do. We're working. You know, we're providing for our families. You know, having a roof over your head and the food on the table is more important. But what I will say is, you've got to have that as part of your main focus within that training block, within that time, if that makes sense. So as long as you get those 3 key sessions in, an interval speed session, a mid-range run and a long run, everything else falls into place. And I can't stress how important strength training is, core, cross training. It really does make a huge difference. So, I mean, to try and wrap up, because I can see the timer on the screen, it's about 5.5 minutes now, so sorry about that one, Eric. But, I mean, again, I'm completely winging this. This is just all these little nuggets of knowledge from, you know, 20 years of competitive running. Big up Croydon Harriers each and every time. Please don't be worried about it. If you get to the start line, you're there. 99% of people will finish if they get to a start line of a marathon. So there's that to take in consideration. Make sure you practice what fuel you're going to have on your long run. That's what the long runs are there for. They're to practice what you're going to do on race day. Don't necessarily wear anything new on race day. Make sure you practice that. So those are 3 top tips. And another one would be try and get a rust buster in, like I call them. Try and get a half or 20 miler. Maybe 5 weeks, maybe 4 weeks out at best. It depends how sort of novice to intermediate you are. And going on the subject of 20 milers, a lot of people talk about 20 milers. So let's just say for a sub 5 hour marathon runner, you're talking like 3.5 to 4 hours out there on the road doing the 20 milers. Don't worry about the distance. It's just about time on your feet, because 99% of you people watching, if you haven't done a marathon, you're going to get to 20 miles on race day and you think, rah, I've got 6 miles left, I've got 10k left, what am I going to do? It's unknown territory. Your body will carry you through, the crowds will carry you through, the thoughts of your loved ones and the charities that you're running for will carry you through. Just try and be the best you can on the day. And that is literally, just in life as well, that is essentially what it is. So I'm going to leave it there, as I always say to Eric on the voice notes. We're 7 minutes in, I could have easily run a mile and a bit by now on the track. So, because I love running fast, on the track. And on the subject of that, you guys can't obviously see, I'm doing an indoor 1500 metres tonight, so pretty excited. But it's late, I mean, it's 8:05 on a Wednesday night. There's a better place I'd rather be, but we love to run. So thank you again for everyone. Don't forget, keep it moving. If you've got any questions, do not hesitate to either find me on socials. That's at Lappins86 on Insta, Terry Lappins on Facebook, and at Lappins6 on Twitter. Shameless plug, but hey, it's all good. Strava, of course. Strava. How can I forget Strava? Ooh. Terry Lappins on Strava. Or fire any questions down in the comments below. You know it. I love saying that, down in the comments below. Or just hit me up if I'm at a race, or ask Eric, and I'm sure he'd be happy to pass the information on. So I'm sure there's going to be more of these. There's lots of different things I could talk about. Race shoes, different types of stack height you want on your running shoes, shoe rotation, and that's just within shoes. You can have race day gear. There's lots and lots of things. If there's anything that you want me to, or you want to pick my brains about, don't hesitate. I'll leave it there. I'll speak to you later. Let's get it super light.